You know, the incompetence of the Bush crime family is so massive. The damage they did is so incalculable at this point. It's going to take years. We've already decided on that. But our military affairs correspondent sent us, here's something else from the Washington Post. Obama's plans to determine the fates of the 245 people still held at Guantanamo quickly and close the prison there, close the torture chambers in the rooms and the murderous mayhem that Bush and Cheney brought to this country's soul. Well, those efforts by Obama got a setback last week when incoming legal and national security officials, who, by the way, according to the Washington Post, were barred until the inauguration from examining classified material about these detainees. Huh? Oh, we're going to cooperate in the transition. Remember when the bastard said that? Yeah, right. Anyway, these security officials now have discovered that there were no comprehensive case files on many of the detainees. Nothing. No case files. No record of where they'd been picked up, what they were charged with, how long they've been held, what their medical histories are, what their arrest record or detainee record consisted of, what they had talked about, how they were treated. Nothing. In other words, the whole thing, the entire thing, was a Bush PR effort. Look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. We got detainees. These are, what did Cheney say not that long ago? These are the hardcore. These are the dregs. These are the ones that are really dangerous. Instead of finding case files on these torture prisoners that we've been holding, incoming national security officials found that information on individual prisoners is, quote, scattered throughout the executive branch, end quote. Now, that order that Barack Obama signed last Thursday, ordering the prison closed within a year, and the cabinet-level panel named to review each case of these 245 remaining people separately, will now have to spend its initial weeks and maybe months scouring the corners of the federal government in search of relevant material. God damn! Don't you just? I mean, don't you just? Don't you just hate these people? What they did. The astonishing arrogance of these bastards. Several former Bush administration officials, according to the Washington Post, agreed that the files are incomplete and that no single government entity was charged with pulling together all the facts and the range of options for each prisoner. They said the CIA and other intelligence agencies were reluctant to share information. Oh, for Christ's sake, are we still using that as an excuse for the Bush crime family's unbelievable criminal incompetence? I guess we are. And these officials said that the Bush administration's focus on detention and interrogation made preparation of viable prosecutions a far lower priority. Do you realize what's being said there? The Bush administration's focus on detention and interrogation made preparation of viable, i.e. reasonable prosecutions, the euphemism is a far lower priority, which means it's impossible. Now, how do the right-wing crazy bastards in this country, which is every Republican in government, I don't care if he's in the military, the CIA, the House, the Senate, the judicial branch, it matters not. Do you know how these bastards are reacting? A former senior official with the Bush crime family said that after promising quick solutions, the Obama administration is now, quote, backpedaling and trying to buy time, end quote, by blaming the predecessor, the Bush crime family. Oh, like none of this is true, huh? Unless political appointees decide to overrule the recommendations of the career bureaucrats handling the issue under both administrations, this freak predicted, the new review will reach the same conclusion as the last, that most of the detainees can be neither released nor easily tried in this country. This is what the Bush crime family has created. A literal area for non-persons. This is, I mean, just like the Soviets, only with far more clarity and determination than the Soviet bureaucrats ever had. Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld and the rest of these people, forget Bush. He was just a little pissant in all this. But Cheney and Rumsfeld and Ashcroft and all these people who took their lessons, not just from the Nazis and how to disseminate lies and terror, but took heavy-duty lessons from the Soviets on how to create black prisons and gulags and torture rooms and torture chambers. And where did they learn? They learned it back in the 80s. They had just all sorts of time to practice in Central America with Negroponte and Elliot Abrams and all the rest of these swine, these scum. So now we have a situation where, arguably, the people can't be tried. You might want to make the argument they can't be released. They can't continue to be detained unless we want to give up even the slimmest pretense of being a nation of laws or having any sort of ethical imperative on how we deal with the rest of the world. If we want to give it all up, okay, just keep them there forever until they go mad or we figure out a way to kill them and without anybody knowing. That's the Soviet style.